Hi, Maximus Analysis here for March 17th, 2016, and we had, they're continuing it up, and now we're hitting into basically the resistance of the chop from last year. And this would be the upside target. Again, if you were long going into these again, we talked about these tidy pullbacks that we saw here. It's continuing to have that. Again, this would be the upside target. And you kind of just want, if there is any type of pullback, for them not to break the the 203 or the 192 area. Okay, this was the target in the mid of the chop, which is 148. Got to the high I think was 147 or 146.75. Let's try to break it down on a weekly time frame just to make sure we're looking at all possibilities. And you can see that based on the volume that we have here for the H6 contract, the H contract, we're starting to die down volume coming into overhead resistance. So again, if you're in, also know that we're 5 weeks into this move from the bottom. So with that being said, you just, if you're going to go long, again, been knocking the table on this for a while, you make sure you use intraday time frames, because something very interesting happened today, and I'll show you. Let's continue with the NQ. And the interesting thing happened in regards to some equity names, but we'll see what's going on a little bit later. NQ, again, getting up to the 200-day moving average, and it got, again, we had a target of 44.14. It got to 44.12.75. I'm not really going to be a stickler and say, listen, they made close to the target, and you start to see the candles are starting to get very small right now. So again, if you're looking to go long, I suggest using a smaller time frame to get in versus trying to get in now on a breakout, and they could pull it back to 4,300, and you could easily most people get stopped out because they're not going to put their stop underneath here. So again, aggressive time frames that I've been talking about, hourly, half an hour, 15-minute type of charts. Okay, the YM, we just want, again, if there's going to be a pullback and you're getting into the middle of this chop as well, if there's going to be a pullback, we just want 16,600 to hold here, because that gives them some room. Again, they could break this low. I don't want them to get back in between here, right here. I don't want them to get back here. Again, they pull back, something tidy, get into this, back into this region, continue up, fine. But right here, right now, high volume, the second high volume, going into a hell of a move. So just don't want you to get caught out at the tail end saying, oh, now I want to go long, and they just pull back a little bit and kind of stop you out. So let's look at a couple names that were, it kind of was like, all right, what's going on right here? So within all this huge move up 155 on the Dow, and hitting some significant levels on the ES in regards to about 2040 and such, Facebook was down $1.15. Okay, again, not the best patterns. Again, intraday time frames, because right now a lot of people took this breakout and it doesn't take much to squeeze them. So on the pullback, we want to see this 105.50 hold. Okay, for Facebook. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon got crushed today, almost 15 bucks. Again, still holding the 200-day moving average, but here's the thing that we want to make sure that we're watching. Okay, this came on high volume, and they haven't broken any pivots, but they aren't layering above the previous highs. So we see that they can hold this high right here, but you're starting to see that they're not bouncing off of where we would like them to bounce off, which is to get higher, clear this area, and bounce back up. So we're grinding sideways for the moment, and we just want to see if there's going to be any lows that hold. Now, going back and looking again on the weekly time frame, let's make sure we are looking at this weekly time frame and kind of looking at the past as well. This area, which is July 20th weekly bar of 2015, we're still in that area. Okay, we got all the way up. Now we're retracing back. We want to see that they don't break below this 540 area and clear to go back up to new highs. Again, they're still holding these pivots, so they're still holding this 450 pivot. And again, this is the weekly time frame, but just want to keep things in perspective, because again, if I move this, you can see that they're right back into this on a retracement from a pullback. So let's make sure we're at least looking at all time frames here to make sure that we're looking at things. Google, again, Google was again another name that again. Let's look at the daily. We were up only $1. I mean, they faded all pretty much throughout the day. And this is a very hard pattern to trace. Again, if you want to see them hold this 740 area. If there is a retracement, again, things don't go straight up or straight down, but we want them to hold this area on the retrace down, not get into this 730 area and start getting messy. Okay. And let's look at the time frame of the weekly. We also stated that, again, a significant area that we want to see them clear with volume is actually the 756 area and the 758 area. They're right there right now, but we would like them to clear that area with significant volume versus seeing this volume. Again, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. This candle is still open in regards to the weekly candle, but you can see that the volume is fairly light for the day. So if you're long already, tighten stop off, peel off some. Yes, peel into strength. That's what I love to do. Peel into when everybody else is looking to buy. You can always have a runner going on for weeks, but again, peel when everybody else is looking to get long. And last but not least, which is a name that did fairly well, actually up almost $5, is Tesla. Tesla's all the way back up to its 200-day moving average, broke above this resistance that we've seen here in regard to something we're talking on the weekly, and we said again, all time frames you're looking for smaller time frames to get in, and things look good. Now here's the cautionary tale to make sure you're looking at just the bigger picture as well, is that on the weekly time frame, yes, it has cleared this area here. Okay, let's kind of take a lot of this stuff off. Yep. So let's take a lot of these drawings off to kind of clear some things up so we can at least look at things with some type of perspective here. So again, you can see the previous highs. So some of you might say, like, listen, this thing has ran up all the way back here before. This doesn't mean anything. Well, when this, you got to also keep things in perspective. When this happened, there was nothing to the left of it. This was just a huge move up. So now that we're starting to have things that, price moving that has stuff to the left, we can use that same concept of, okay, they're holding these previous highs here, right? But they're also starting to get some lower highs moving into this. This will be actually the fourth lower high if you're using this type of analysis on the weekly. So, oops. Let me use the weekly time frame. You can see this is going on, and it cleared it a little bit, but again, this candle is still open. Also, keep in mind, if you're in Tesla, peel some profits. Again, I have no problems. Just peel some profits. You'll get more trades. You don't have to chase this one because you can see that with the price moving up, the volume has moved down significantly. So make sure you keep this stuff in mind, and if you're looking to go long, use an intraday time frame because it's so long. You're all 5 weeks up on declining volume. Now is not the time to say, I want to get long Tesla. You're going to have to look to a pullback. We'd like a pullback to hold the $200 mark and see what we can do. But again, look at those higher time frames as well to give you some type of perspective of what you're in. And again, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, they've continued to move up, options expiration. So let's see what happens tomorrow. But again, the bulls are in control. But you now have levels that you want to see when they break them, because we will get a retracement. How deep the retracement is going to look. Also, take a look at that VIX chart as well to see where there's support and see. Again, you chart everything. I chart everything. So continue to look at this, and thanks to all that are following me. I really appreciate you guys taking the time daily to look at non-biased stock market commentary. I try my best to give unbiased opinions. Again, if I'm wrong, I will admit it, which a lot of people won't. Again, on the news, they have if they forecast and they're wrong, they just reforecast. So I'm actually a trader that's in the pits with you guys. So again, take care, and let's see what happens tomorrow.